We're back here. Our man Eddie Gonzalez joining us fresh off a workout. KC isn't even in on this. We just learned Cody Rhodes lost the title. Cody,
I'm,
Cody
I'm over
Rhodes,
here.
Cody Rhodes got beat by Drew McIntyre today.
Where are they at?
Germany.
I'm over here reading spoilers. Like,
What?
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre?
Yes.
All right, I'm glad I'm out, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad. I don't even know
That's
what's
crazy.
going on, man.
I can't
are we
tell
doing?
Eddie's excited or upset.
Yeah, I'm about to say no. I was about to say, are we doing full spoilers because Sacramento made themselves heard at the end of this match too? So I'm like real locked in now. I'm about to watch.
Oh,
What did you do?
Man, that's a hell of a tee. Oh, I see you.
Yeah,
I see you. Okay, I see you. All right,
man.
Sacramento, stand up. I
yeah,
see you.
yeah. That I mean, as he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, what sort of barbaric workout did you just finish?
No, I'm relaxing. I'm actually doing some work over here. So I
Okay.
did a workout this morning that was pretty stupid, but
Thought you might have been jumping with 50-pound dumbbells in your hand or something.
bro, don't remind me. Don't remind. I don't want no parts of that.
I
No
saw that
time soon.
watching you hesitate. I was like, oh no, don't do it, Eddie. Don't jump, Eddie.
Yo, so the trainer I work with, his name's Antoine, and he's like I'm known now in his little circle of people he trains. It's like, oh, yeah, he'll just try whatever I tell him to do. They'll fight back. Like, no, I can't do that. That's too much. My dumb ass will like, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can box jump with a barbell on my back. I guess. And but that was a little scary. But I did it. So
Yeah, you did.
Good
yeah, I
stuff.
made it work.
Hey, how good are both of you guys at jump rope?
Oh, good.
Terrible. I'm
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah, that's a good warm up.
Yeah, I was been incorporating the jump rope in lately. It's just nothing
you go.
major. Just
Nah, it's really good work, but I'm just awful at it.
do the one. I do the.
I can't do the cross thing that all the
I
boxers do. I can't do that. Yeah,
I do the most I can do right now is the the double hop on one leg. So
Yeah, can you do that?
I could do that. That's where it ends.
Can you do like the little
Double
running?
jump?
Yeah. No,
I can
like
do the double jump.
some guys do it kind of like as a skip jog type thing. Some guys can do it like that. I'm terrible at jump rope. I get like 10, 15 in a row, and it's like, boom, kicked it. All right. Now I gotta start again.
So I want to, man, there was something that just happened that I wanted to talk
Drew
about.
McIntyre won the title. That's what it
Cody
was.
Rhodes lost.
You got me. That I just saw though when I was out that I want to run past both of you guys. But the tweet that you were talking about, I believe you're talking about your tweet that says the Kings should just go get. I'm gonna pull a Drewski. What you talking about? What you mean by that?
I mean, that's one of the teams that seems to be involved here. It like if you're asking me, and what I mean by that tweet in general is they're not going to acquire a player of that stature without something like this happening, without his stock plummeting to the point where his franchise says, I'm out. And they have some contracts to make this work. They are going to be in a patient rebuild, supposedly. 26-year-old former All-Star doesn't always become available to the Sacramento Kings. And I feel like when they do, you should go make that happen. One of the most popular sneakers in the world right now, a very exciting player, type of player you can build around and, I think build around and win some games. Now, do you have to build a very specific team around him? For sure. But I would rather have this piece, which is probably the hardest piece, and then figure out the rest over the next couple of years. And much like Trae Young and much like LaMelo Ball and a few other guys, I think Ja would just benefit from a fresh start and would understand what that means when he gets that opportunity. And there's not too many of these to go around. So I seen one of the guys I seen thrown around this week was Steve Nash. It's like, yes, Steve was cool in Dallas. Steve went to Phoenix and became a whole new thing. They're saying that for Trae, but there's something to that for Ja as well. He's gotten a little banged up over his years, and you lose a little bit of that explosiveness in his game. But again, I think somewhere where he can be the centerpiece outright, and a team that's going to have to take their time would be a great landing spot for him. But can the Kings beat whatever Minnesota would offer or whatever Miami would offer? We're going to find out because we don't really know what Memphis's priorities are here. They're in that middle ground where theoretically they could push forward with Jaren Jackson and try to compete now, or if they want a complete teardown, maybe they want more picks than the Kings have and things of that nature. But if I'm the Kings, I'm going all in on John Morant, and I think they will.
You mentioned so here's my concern. Here's my concern with what you just said. You said that the Ja needs a specific team built around him. And I wonder how important a player like Jaren Jackson Jr. to the building of a Ja Morant team, because Sacramento has nothing even. By the way, Jaren Jackson Jr., the only player that 2018 draft who's still on of the players we talk about the most who's still on the team that drafted him. DeAndre been moved, Marvin been on multiple teams, Luka's been moved, and now Trae's been moved. And there's Jaren Jackson, making $300 million or whatever it is. But you don't have that in Sacramento. You don't have anything that even remotely resembles that in Sacramento. So what's that ultimately look like, at least for the first year with Ja Morant here?
It's going to be tough. And it depends on what you're going to put around him. If you're going to do the complete teardown, if you're going to see what you can get for Domas. I mean, a Ja trade almost has to be Zach or DeMar. So that's gone. You've taken that off. Like, what do you do from there? But we talked about this on the show a couple times. They need a multi-year build. Like, it needs to be ugly for a little bit before it can be anything decent in Sacramento, because they need to compile some picks. They need to hit on those picks, and then they need to put together ancillary pieces and vets. So that's kind of my question mark I would have. If you're trying to foster this culture or this standard in your locker room, is Ja the guy to lead that charge? I don't think he has not shown to be that guy, and that's coming from a big Ja Morant fan. Now, whether you feel that's overrated or not, the Kings do need some sort of stasis in their organization, something they just have not had. And you know what they remind me of, and I hate to say it, and I'm sure Kenny's going to laugh out of this. They remind me of the Raiders. The Raiders need way more than a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
But they need to take a quarterback. That's the hardest part you're going to have to do in this rebuild, is draft a quarterback. Is Mendoza I don't know. That's the whole other conversation. But they need stasis too. We're going in the head coach number or whatever, and however many years, and general manager however many years, and now Tom Brady is leading the charge. So that's the fifth voice in 7 years that's leading the charge. That's what the Kings have been dealing with as well. And if you look at the successful franchises in the NBA right now, you're looking at, look, the Knicks or they just came off losing 5-0, but they've had the same front office for X amount of time. Boston Celtics obviously have the same front office. For Oklahoma City Thunder have the same front office for ages. And teams are building on that stasis and that kind of singular focus on what their goal is, not only for, obviously you want to win, but what they want their team to look like year in, year out, who they want to coach the team, the philosophies they want to have in that team. The Kings have not had that since Rick Adelman. It's been some time, and that's a big part that they need to figure out as well.
I've talked to D'Lo about this a few times. I want to run this by you as well, Eddie. Jerry Reynolds, Sacramento legend. Jerry Reynolds. He was in the studio about a month ago, and he was filling in, and we were talking about just basketball in general, philosophy of team building in the league and stuff like that. And he said something that I have not been able to get over since he said it, probably because he's right. But I asked him, what percentage of players in the league can benefit from a change of scenery? And he came up with the number. He was like, I'd say 95% of the players in the league need to not be with the team that drafted them at some point in their career. And when he talked about it, I thought about, who stays with that same team the whole time? It don't happen like that. Do you subscribe to that theory where eventually these guys need to leave the team that drafted them and kind of reestablish themselves or rebrand themselves to a certain degree with a new team and a new franchise?
Yeah, not to make this deeper than it needs to be, but I think that applies to life in general. Don't stick nowhere where you're not satisfied, where it's not working for you, where you're not able to build your fullest potential. Now, I know in basketball, we have this kind of philosophy of you stick it through. That's how you become great. You win the one title with the one team, that's better than winning the four with the four teams or whatever. however you may feel. But I mean, we are talking about, noted friend of Kevin Durant. And I'm like, yo, you gotta be in a better place. Why wait around? What other job would you stick around and be miserable and knowing your talent's being capped off and knowing that you can be somewhere else doing better other than sports? So I 100% believe that. I think it's funny he said 99% because, you think of the outliers. I look at somebody like Steph Curry right now, who's never going to leave. But if you look at him right now, like, yo, there's 10 better situations for him in the league right now, and they would all take him right this second. He won't do it. But that does kind of fall into what Jerry was saying. Like, yeah, even Steph should leave. Even Kobe should have left. He had great opportunity. He tried to, So, like, I agree with the philosophy for sure. And I think this is probably like the hot take of this point, but the league would be better if the guys were further chasing success in that way, because again, we wouldn't have 3 down years of Steph Curry. We'd have him on a contender somewhere, like really loading up. And I always think the league is better when we have better teams. Like whether we have the super villain, super team, or we just have a really top heavy league. But when we have this set of 4, 5, 6 teams that are just incredible, the league is better.
Since the theme of this conversation has changed, we saw some change in the league earlier this week. Trae Young's headed to Washington. There was speculation about what Atlanta's going to do next. I'm guessing that's going to quiet down given the Anthony Davis news today. But what do you think about the Trae Young move, and what do you think his actual future is with the Washington Wizards?
Yeah, it sounds like he may not play this year, period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually in Washington right now. Funny enough, I'm gonna see the Pelicans and not Trae Young and the Wizards tonight. Just a coincidence. I didn't know this was happening.
That game is crazy to go. Pelicans and non-Trae Young Wizards. Wow.
I'm out here to see some friends, and it was like I'll probably go to a game. I'm in town, but I asked around a little bit in league circles. Just like, how do y'all feel about this? Like, I didn't love it until I talked to more people and kind of got an idea of where Trae's at as well. And, he's here to build for the long haul. I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon, or at least at the very beginning of the summer, we hear that he signs a massive contract extension, maybe a max deal, but again, a 3-4 year deal. He's in here for the long haul to build with this franchise. And knowing that now, that makes more sense. And it's kind of the Ja Morant situation too, where Ja's going to have to, if it's Sacramento, have to like not humble himself, but like sit in that situation knowing like this is a 3-4 year situation. Like we're going to have to get through the ruts. They got a lot of talented young dudes here in Washington. Maybe they're moving on from stars, or maybe somebody like people who are kind of wondering, but they got a lot of talented wings here, and Trae has seen a lot in this league. And it's also going back to this Ja point as well. It's kind of similar to the team that Trae is always going to need. Big, rangy wings who hit shots, who shoot threes, who help him, who complement his game and make him better. If he has the right philosophy, and it sounds like he does, I think it's a great spot for him. The other option I heard, which was kind of like it was always a one-team race, was the Raptors. And if he goes to the Raptors, it's a different deal, obviously, but it's probably RJ and Quickly and something else. But I don't think he was ready to be thrust into whatever that situation may be and that level of expectation right now. He's ready here for the slow build to kind of build up his reputation again. And I like it for him. I've always been a big Trae Young fan. I know what he kind of takes away from your team, but I feel like he adds a lot to your team as well. And again, even if he doesn't play this year, and he might just play a little bit next year to be better. And I think they'll continue to grow and continue to add pieces here.
So what I had just kind of heard and wanted to run by both of you guys while I had stepped out is there was a clip of DeMarcus Cousins talking on running back with Lou Will, and he talked about, I don't know if you've seen this, Eddie, but
the Rick Carlisle clip.
No, that one's wild. We definitely.
Oh, I thought that was the way. Okay,
that was hilarious. But Kendrick Perkins the other day on his podcast said the Hornets are intentionally sabotaging LaMelo Ball and lowering his value on purpose. And DeMarcus Cousins said he wasn't like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. But he's like, yeah, I can see that. I said, I think Atlanta did that with Trae. I think they're doing it with LaMelo. I think Memphis is doing it with Ja. I think the Warriors doing it with Kuminga. Like they're sabotaging these guys. And I gotta really like think about what he's saying before I have agree or disagree. But let me ask you guys, like, you think that's what's happening with some of these guys?
I mean, I think in certain situations, some guys are held back and very intentionally so. A lot of people will bring up the Warriors situation. And my issue with Kuminga and the Warriors is like he might just not be good. Like, it's a lot of fuss about nothing to me with the Warriors, but we've seen other teams have players, just in adverse situations when they don't need to be and just played out of position, played out of their role that would be best for them. I mean, you could argue it's happened to Kevin a few times where everybody's upset he's parked in the corner and it's like, that benefits the team in a different anyway, but I think you've seen that. Now, are they tanking LaMelo's value so they don't have to pay him? They already paid him. Like, that's my issue with that. Same thing for Ja, same thing for Trae. Like, maybe Trae now because he's extension eligible, but he got hurt. They didn't want him to be hurt. If anything, they wanted his value up so they could get more from a trade than CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. So I don't know. I have some issue with that, but I do think there are situations in the league, and much like any job and occupation, a lot of it is built on relationships and, currying favor with certain people where some better players probably aren't playing over worse players because they just have better relationships with the front office or the coach or whomever is in charge of making these decisions. But if you're tanking LaMelo right now, knowing you want to trade him, that's just poor management in that sense.
It doesn't add up to me.
The only thing that I haven't really found a way it adds up either. But if you don't want the player around, if they're, how do I put this? If like LaMelo is like this superstar, let's do Trae for example. If Trae is the superstar, he's playing, everything's good. Like, doesn't it feel like it might be more difficult to trade him because money's got to work, all this other stuff? If you just want him gone, you can say, oh, this guy's no good, or he doesn't help us win, or he's bad in the locker room or something like that.
But you run into the thing that we talked about earlier with Kuminga. You've spent 2 years telling us he's not good. He's this in the locker room. He's that. He's this problem. He's that. Despite the fact his teammates are saying something completely different.
Yeah.
All of these different stories are getting floated out, to people who have strong connections to the team. And it's like that is not benefiting them.
Yeah.
It's not benefiting them at all.
I agree with you guys. Yeah.
That's the thing. I think if anything, you see the inverse where like Jimmy tanked his value last year in an effort to like, you have to trade me. But he had like the leverage of this is my salary number, and you as a team you have to get something back for me. So like my value can only be tanked so much. If you're a team tanking your asset, it's like if I was selling you a car, but I took the rims off and I let all the oil out, and I told you to like I did all this, but you can buy the car for what I'm charging anyway if you want. You're like what?
Them streets of DC is wild, man. You need to be careful while you're out there in the in the nation's capital. Them streets is
I hear you.
in a strange sentence, you did mention you're going to see the Pelicans tonight. We were looking at their squad earlier for some reason. I can't remember why. Bro,
they said they're not trading a bunch of people.
That's what it was. Yo, there's some talent, some really good young talent on that squad. I don't know what the excuse is for them being this bad.
No, I look at their roster and I don't get it. Almost every time I watch them play, they play a really competitive game with the Rockets earlier this year, and I was just like, yo, like, aren't they supposed to be good? But and every time you watch Zion, you feel like, oh, like this is it. I get it. And then we don't see him again for a month or whatever it is. But a lot of talent, a lot of like modern talent too. Trey Murphy is this rangy shooter who can defend. And then you got Herb Jones, who is like super modern defender who defends 4 positions and is all over the place. It's like not only just talented guys, but like those should be winning guys. And everybody likes Isaiah Fears, and then Jordan Poole obviously has been part of a winner, and think what you will of his, his game or whatever. But it kind of doesn't make sense. People are high on their coach. When Willie Green got fired too. I don't know. I think some organizations in some situations just foster losing habits in a lot of ways and just unserious basketball. I think that's the same thing that's happening in Charlotte. And like we didn't really get into the LaMelo stuff, but I had conversations this week was like, yo, I still believe in LaMelo's talent, but like he's been playing meaningless basketball for like 10 years, going back to high school. He's never had to win basketball games or play in a role that's beneficial towards winning. It's just been this. He's probably just learned awful habits or just doesn't care. And now, if you put LaMelo on the Minnesota Timberwolves, is he suddenly a better player because it's a more serious organization? I don't know, but I think he'll be in a better position to utilize his talents. And I think it's the same for all of the guys we just mentioned on the Pelicans. I wish Trey Murphy would get traded somewhere where I get to see him with a great guard and an athletic center and a smart offense where he's just like killing corner threes and attacking closeouts all night. I wish that would be great. I wish we got to see Herb Jones on the, I keep saying the Wolves, but like a team like that who's athletic and defends all night would be perfect for him. But we're just not getting that. And I don't know what the Pelicans are holding on to. Like a couple of years ago, the rumor was they were going to trade Zion to the Hornets for the pick that ended up becoming Brandon Miller and just pulled out last minute. Like the time to cut the cord for a lot of this was a long time ago. So I have no clue what they're holding on to now.
Real quick, you talking about LaMelo. Did you see LaMelo last night?
Yeah.
Yo, he scored like 30 in like 15 minutes, right? Like,
yeah, it was also the first time he took that shot. Kind of a step back. He took a shot at the end, near the end of regulation. They asked him about it. They asked him about it after the game. And it was the first time I've ever heard LaMelo go, yeah, I don't think I should have taken it. that probably wasn't the one I should have taken. I don't think he's ever said that before. That wasn't the one for me.
The clip went around of him scoring 92 points the other day. It was like, what's the most him moment you ever seen? And they're triple teaming him without the ball, and he still gets open. He still makes this crazy three. And it's just like, that makes perfect sense in high school. It's just never going to be able to play basketball like that again when it matters. And it's great ball, great handler. I wouldn't call him a great shooter, but he's a capable, good shooter. He can make shots. He can score. He's got great court vision. That should matter somewhere, and it just hasn't yet.
Rick Carlisle won his 1000th game last night. That game that the Pacers beat Charlotte ended their longest losing streak in franchise history.
Jeez.
He had been on 999 for 13
Oh,
straight
my
games.
God.
Yo, since before Christmas. I don't get that team either. Like, I know they're missing Halliburton, but Nembhard and Pascal Siakam should be able to gut out some wins here. Like, I have no clue what's going on with that team. Miles Turner could not have cost them that much, but they look awful.
They might just They're like, hey,
we made it last year. We're good, fellas.
Yeah. We'll regroup next year.
And we'll regroup with AJ DeBonster.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thank God he ain't going to the Celtics no more because, man, they might mess around win the East still. That's
goodness. Hey, Eddie, before you get out of here, just real quick, I get your predictions. Wild card weekend. You got the Niners.
Eagles.
Niners. Who else winning?
Eagles. I got the Chargers losing. I got the Broncos losing when they play. Like, I don't like none of this going on. You know what my favorite kind of thing this playoffs is I like watching Matt Stafford play. Like, I don't mean to be that guy, but I just kind of love an old school quarterback who can literally make every throw. Puka's fun. Like, that Rams team is fun. I like watching him play. I'm super rooting for the Niners to not play at home Super Bowl. So, like, that's really my only betting interest here. Would love the Chargers to lose. Would love the Broncos to lose. I'm definitely on, like, I'm just here to have fun this week. Like, I'm here to see it. I'm interested in I want to see how far the Texans can go, though, because I'm a CJ Stroud fan. And he's hit or miss. Like, he seems like the pass rush gets to him a lot, but that defense they got is ridiculous. So I want to see what they do. I saw Drake May in person, which was like his legacy game against the Jets. He scored like 5 touchdowns. I just believe it now. Like, I don't know what to think of these quarterbacks who, not to be Cam Newton, but like they're just game managers, but they're like the greatest game managers I've ever seen. I'm a little scared we're going to get like a boring Super Bowl. It's like the Patriots and the Eagles or something. But that's football now.
Bad Bunny. Eddie, we appreciate you, my man. Enjoy the Pelicans and Wizards tonight.
Man, I love basketball, guys. I'm about to go watch this Cody Rhodes match, though.
That's crazy. Cody lost the belt. I'm still tripping off that. What?
Eddie got a glow now that he learned Cody lost.
Yo, I'm like, geek. CM Punk's the champ. Cody Rhodes is out, and he's not even. They're nowhere near each other. Like, keep him away from Roman. Like, keep him in the mid. Let him go bump for the U.S. title and be what he's supposed. Be gold dust.
Him and Zack Ryder are gonna tag team with each other.
Yeah, him and Austin Theory can do whatever they got to do down there for another belt. No belts, just a regular match. Like, just open the doors with them.
Eddie, we appreciate you, boy. Thank you.
See you later, gang.
All right, that's a man, Eddie Gonzalez. He does not like Cody Rhodes.
I gotta see this.